The orange sun dipped below the horizon of the alien desert, casting elongated shadows across the barren landscape. Inside his dome-shaped survival tent, Captain Jared Owens examined his rations. With no sign of rescue, his downed starship on the far ridge offered little hope. He sighed, the isolation biting at his nerves. A rustle from outside made him freeze. He reached for his plasma pistol. The tent flap shifted, and then she stepped inside. She was humanoid, but distinctly alien. Her silvery skin shimmered under the tent's artificial light, and her eyes were large, golden, and impossibly reflective. She stood slightly taller than him, her elongated limbs graceful, almost fluid. Her hair, or what passed for it, was a flowing mass of bioluminescent strands that danced faintly, as if responding to his movements. "Who are you?" Jared managed, weapon steady. She raised her hands, fingers long and webbed, in a universal gesture of peace. Then, her voice, though not spoken but projected into his mind, spoke softly. "I am Lyran. You are stranded. So am I." Jared lowered his weapon, though his grip remained firm. "How do you know my language?" Her lips curved into a smile. "I don't. Your thoughts are loud." He blinked, unsure whether to be flattered or terrified. "Why are you here?" "I saw your light. I seek shelter for the cold night. Our star sets, and the sands grow deadly." She gestured to the horizon where a faint glow pulsed, something alien and ominous. Jared glanced back at Lyran. "You're not going to kill me in my sleep, are you?" She tilted her head, puzzled. "If I wished harm, would I ask first?" Fair point, Jared thought. He stepped aside and gestured for her to sit. "Fine. Welcome to my humble abode." Lyran entered fully, her glowing strands casting strange shadows on the walls. Jared offered her water, and she studied the container before mimicking his movements. She took a sip, her luminous eyes widening in surprise. "Your water, it's alive with taste," she said. "That's the purification tablets," Jared muttered, leaning back. As the night deepened, Lyran's bioluminescence grew brighter, illuminating the tent. They talked, or rather, she probed his thoughts while he explained human survival tactics, engineering woes, and his ship's crash. "On my planet, we adapt differently," Lyran said. "We don't build machines to shield us. We evolve with the land." "Neat trick," Jared replied, "but evolution's slow." She smiled, a hint of mischief in her gaze. "Not as slow as you think." Before Jared could question her, she extended her hand. "May I show you?" Cautiously, he reached out. When their hands met, a jolt of warmth coursed through him, and suddenly the tent vanished. Jared blinked. He stood in an alien jungle, the ground pulsing faintly beneath his feet. Trees with translucent trunks and glowing leaves towered overhead. He could feel the jungle, not just its texture and smell, but its life. His heart raced. "What the hell? This is how we adapt," Lyran said, now standing beside him. "We connect. My kind synchronizes with our world, shaping ourselves to its needs." He looked down at his hands, now faintly glowing. His vision sharpened, and his hearing became hyper-focused. He could sense the flow of energy in the environment, like currents in a river. I'm part of this place," he stammered. "Yes," she said. "Only temporarily, for now. But you could learn." The scene shifted again, snapping him back into his tent. Jared staggered, his senses overwhelmed by the sudden stillness. Lyran's golden eyes studied him. "Do you see? Your tools can only take you so far. To survive, you must become." He sat down, still dazed. "Is that why you're here? To teach me?" She shook her head. "I am here because I, too, am stranded. But we may help each other. And if I don't learn your way." She tilted her head, her expression unreadable. Then you remain as you are, alone in the sands. Jared thought about his broken ship, his slim chances of survival, and the strange connection he'd just experienced. For the first time since his crash, he felt a glimmer of hope. "All right," he said, "show me how you do it on your planet." Her smile widened, and her glowing strands brightened the tent. "Then let us begin." And thus began a partnership that would reshape not only Jared's fate, but his very understanding of survival, connection, and what it meant to be truly alive.